Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 2. So hopefully you completed the student survey yesterday. We're going to be collecting data, and I'll put it all together from the student responses, and we'll be using that as we go through these first couple of units about categorical data, which is what we're going to start right now, and numerical data. So today we're going to look at what's the difference between an individual and a variable in statistics. So we're starting here with 3 definitions. The first is just generally, what is statistics? So basically it's just the art and science of dealing with data. So data can be numbers, or it can be things like eye colors, and just what do we do with it? How do we make sense of it? So that's what statistics is. Now, individuals sounds like people, but it doesn't necessarily need to be people. So individuals are just whatever objects are described by a set of data. So it might be people, but it could be animals or things. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples in a minute so you can see the difference. And then variables are, well, what are the things that we want to know about those individuals? So some characteristic, maybe it's weights or colors or temperatures, and the variable for each individual can take different values. So if I had a list of students, let's say, maybe a variable of interest is the number of pets that they have. And student number 1 might have 3 pets, and student number 2 might have 4 pets, etc. So that variable can take different values. So let me show you the types of problems you're going to be doing today. Here is a table. This is what's known as a two-way table, where we just have some information organized here. And you can see that I've listed 4 teachers, me, Mr. Nikinis, Mr. Rose, and Mrs. Potzer. And then in the second column of that table, we have the subjects that they teach. So I, of course, teach math, and Mr. Nikinis teaches English, and Mr. Rose teaches science, and Mrs. Potzer teaches phys ed. The third column lists their gender. And then in the fourth column, I have the number of children that each of these teachers have. So a common mistake here is to think that the individuals, meaning in this case, it actually is people, the people of interest are also a variable. They're not. So the individuals here are the teachers. All right. So that first column, the teachers, that's the individuals. As far as how many variables there are, teacher is not a variable, because that's the people that we're interested in. So there are 3 variables here. Those variables are subject, gender, and number of children, because those are the things that we want to know about these teachers. Okay, so that's number 1. Now, statistics deals with numbers, yes, but not everything is going to be numerical. So we're going to be talking more in the next couple of days about the difference between data types. So I'm just going to give you a little heads up right here. So things like subject and gender, those are not numerical. So I can't do math with those kind of things. But children, that is numerical. So I could calculate the average number of children. But when we're dealing with things that are categories or not numbers, we're going to have to use counts or percents to summarize things, and we'll get to more of that later. Okay, so here we go with example number 2. And example number 2, you'll see that I've got store locations. So whatever your favorite store is, have that in mind. And it's located in 5 different cities: Houston, New York, Denver, Miami, and Los Angeles. And then there's some information collected about these stores: their size in square feet, the manager's name. Any fans of The Office should recognize those names. The number of employees at the store, their sales rank, and their zip code. So here, our individuals are actually not people. The individuals are the store locations. And then the variables, there are, remember, store location does not get counted as a variable because that's who we're collecting or what we're collecting information from. So there are 5 variables here. So the 5 variables are the size of the store, the manager name, the number of employees, the sales rank, and zip code. So we have variables, 5 of them, and we've got the store locations are the individuals. And we were talking a little bit in the last slide about things that are numerical or not. So What's interesting about this data set is that sales rank and zip code, those are special kind of variables because yes, they are numbers, but if you think about it, you can't really do math with them because things like a sales rank is just a way to order things. So I couldn't get like the average sales rank. That wouldn't make sense. And the same thing with zip codes. So we will talk more about this in the future, but just know for now that not all numbers would be considered numerical data. Whereas with size and number of employees, we could do math with those kind of things. We could add them, subtract them, average them, etc. Okay, so that's it for my video today. This will be linked in Google Classroom, and your assignment for today is a Google form that will also be found there, just reviewing these concepts. So let me know if you have any questions.